Hello and welcome to Last Time On. This is the podcast where we watch television in a random order. I got to admit, guys, the show has me questioning the word prestige
because we've reached a new level.
And my sanity. I'm Xhafer.
And I am Ben, 2 Viper Strikes, because it's our second Viper episode.
I'm Victor the Viper. Viper Victor. Victor.
Viper.
I'm the Snake Man.
And if you're just joining us for the first time, 1, dear God. 2, what we do here on Last Time On, we take TV shows we want to watch or want to force our friends to watch, in this case.
Or are delighted to get the opportunity to watch.
And we watch the first episode. We roll some dice that are generated via a algorithm that
Patent
I have
pending.
written. It might not be patent pending anymore, actually.
Did they reject your patent?
No, I might have to stop pursuing it. There's some legalese about the contract I just signed for my new job that I have to go talk. I legit tomorrow I'm gonna have to go down to the floor where all the lawyers are, and talk to lawyers about this podcast. That is a thing that I am doing at my job tomorrow.
Awesome. I expect to see a spike in listenership.
So we roll some dice, we skip some episodes, and we try to figure out what the hell happened in between. You know, what happened Last Time On. That's what we do here. Today we're talking about the second half of the Viper pilot. I mentioned it last episode in what is probably the most this podcast move. Ben and I thought that this was the first episode, not the first half of part 1. So we watched this, not knowing that there was another episode before it.
Mm.
I don't regret my decision to... Actually, I do. I do regret my decision to go back and watch the episode before this. I regret it greatly. I think I should have just said, fuck it.
I'm sad to say I wish I would have made the same mistake because, yeah, I think it's better with just the part 2.
Part 2 is better.
We don't
but
need
part
so
1
much
gave us more
explained to
Viper.
us. Yeah. I think the 90s TV, or even today, they think the audience is dumb, so they have to spell everything out.
O-B-E.
And so thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so anyways, we pick up right where we left off. There's a little bit in the news about a stolen plague antitoxin to help those in Kenya. Yeah, that's a string of words that legally forms a sentence.
Yep, and we are repairing the rocket damage to our Viper because it is a car that can take a rocket and still keep going.
Mm-hmm. It's just a little fender bender, as our hero described it.
They talk about how this police car crushed the outfit vehicles like they were tinfoil. That did not happen.
He did smash one at the end.
The way that they're talking about this, it's like the car ran into it and it just compressed the other car and the Viper was fine.
Yeah. The best thing it did in the previous episode was it used the EMP cannon to disable a Corvette with 2 comically ridiculous criminals who were just like, woo, we stole a car, we're on a fucking joyride, woo. Like they're just celebrating. And they EMPs it. And that car was a Corvette. So is that owned by the same people who own Dodge?
No. Corvette's GM. So it probably was not a Corvette. Or if it was, that's why it got smashed. Because this is a giant Chrysler ad.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, they stopped.
I remember in the Knight Rider reboot, every car was a Ford in that show because the new Knight Rider was a Mustang. Yeah.
But we've got these cars running around, and this is when I'm starting to suspect that Viper is actually a dystopia about the police state. I don't know about you guys. But this is where that started to formulate in my brain. We cut
part?
over
No,
to...
the Viper is the only thing that saves us from the dystopia. So we go from the police state dystopia to the cartopia.
Oh, God. The
I haven't seen that Disney movie, but kids like it. Anyways, we cut over to Stepford, the whitest place on earth.
The golf.
Where the golf course, where Marcus and Corey Matthews' dad are scheming while drinking Meemaw's lemonade.
Yeah.
Yep.
I thought he was Shooter McGavin. My God. Yeah, the leader, the head of the outfit, is hanging out on a country club. Xhafer said it best. Oh my God. Could it get any more suburban? Now, funny thing, when you first mentioned this in our group chat, I was still under the impression that we watched the same episode.
Yeah.
I thought you were referring to Julian's breakfast scene with his family, and he called it the whitest neighborhood ever. I'm like, well, okay, maybe he's just taking colorblindness to a whole new level. It's just
Nope.
because his house does look like white suburbia.
Hey, have you ever ate a mayonnaise sandwich?
So I was like, oh, okay, I can see that.
But Townsend, the bad guy, is mad because the highwaymen, Marcus's crew, have botched 2 jobs in a row. That's not okay when you're dealing with the outfit.
Yeah.
Not only did you not steal that mini satellite, but you also didn't steal the anti-plague antitoxin.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But
So you
Grandma
better
was still
figure it
nice
out.
enough to pour him a glass of lemonade. And
Yeah,
does this
they
guy have 3
immediately
kids
find-
that all look exactly the same?
It's very similar looking children.
Yeah, all playing golf in the same outfit. Anyway, maybe that's why they call it the outfit, because everyone just wears one outfit.
Peyton here has a flashback. My notes say, is he a RoboCop?
This really is the same plot as RoboCop, except it's not RoboCop, it's a car.
It's
It's the
RoboCar.
same. Yeah.
RoboCop.
But instead of
car.
making a cop, a robot cop, they make a criminal, a super cop with a RoboCar.
We don't have time to learn much before Marcus and Cruz show up. Marcus asks what it's like to come back from the dead, a question his B5 character wishes he didn't know the answer to.
Oh, damn. Was this before or after?
Throw shade.
Because this was 94. When did Babylon 5 end? It was
Babylon
90.
5 started around this time.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. So this
I
is
assume the
pre-more.
filming would have been close because Marcus doesn't come in until season 2 anyways. So
Yeah.
Marcus probably came straight from this to Babylon 5.
Yeah, because he looks exactly the same age here.
Yeah.
Like it's weird seeing evil mirror universe Marcus here.
Yeah. Peyton gets tranquilized by discount Kyle Fletcher and then gets plugged into the worst clip show machine in history.
They plug him into
Oh,
a clip show
man.
device. Oh my god.
This is
It's
where
so
we find out that it's April 2001 because there's
Okay.
a date on the modem access.
Okay.
So that's why everyone's dressed in Austin Powers style quasi-futuristic clothing.
This device that they strap Joe into looks like they got a couple of vacuum cleaner hoses and some what are those little things called, the toys you had as a kid that were a slideshow that
The
you
Viewmaster.
Oh, a
Viewmasters,
yeah.
yes. It looked like it took a couple of Viewmasters and painted them black with some vacuum cleaner attachments.
So we get a bunch of pictures of Peyton's past, I guess, here, not Joe's, including some of him styled facial hair from part 1. But there is a look he has in here that is him with a giant mustache and just a mustache.
Yes.
And I must ask you all a question. Does he pull it off?
I think he looks like he looks like a dude I would run into at one of this bar I used to hang out in Austin that had really great Reuben sandwiches. It was one of those biker dive bars. He looks like a dude that would be hanging out there at the bar drinking a PBR. So I believe it.
I could eat a Reuben right now.
I would love a turkey Reuben.
Reubens are good.
Man.
I love Reubens.
But I will
be my
say,
friend, buy me a Reuben.
to answer your question, Xhafer, if it is full, if it is not patchy, you are pulling that mustache off. Hey, this is Ben, your internet dad. And I know sometimes it doesn't feel like it's come in as much as you want. But more importantly than how do you think it looks, the question is, how does it make you feel? And if it makes you feel more confident, you'll be more confident. Now, I know for me, if I just have the mustache, I think it's too thin. I don't think it has enough thickness. I don't like the way I look. It doesn't make me feel confident. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. Doesn't mean yours, the same size, doesn't work. So just believe in yourself and believe in the face bush.
I had to trim my face bush recently. I was a little sad, but I had a lady friend over who wasn't feeling it during our intimate time. She thought, TMI alert, guys. It was a little uncomfortable for her, so I shaved it off a little bit. But I'm growing it back. I'm going to ease her into it, so because I really want to grow this beard out as long as I can. My goal for 2025 is to look like a Mexican ZZ Top. By the end of
Hell yeah.
By the end
That's
of
an
the year.
aggressive beard growth goal for the year. But I believe in you, Vic.
Thank you.
I know I just took 2 inches off mine. I found out today that one of my behind my back nicknames at the old office was Gandalf.
Dude,
So
that's bad. I would put that on your resume. Nickname was Gandalf. That's fucking.
it was meant
cool as shit.
respectfully.
Yeah.
Because I guess someone today in a meeting asked if Gandalf was going to be replaced, and when the answer was no, the response was, "That's a shame. He really had his shit together."
That's awesome, dude.
See,
So
that's
I'll
the
take
secret.
it.
You only
yeah,
work there
Xhafer.
for a year and they don't realize how bad you are at your job.
Nice. Oh, and shout out to Ben for that awesome beard serum you sent me, dude. That stuff's great. I can't wait to use it again once my beard grows out.
Peyton gets a mini disc of this photo album.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all caught that.
I remember those things. They were great. They were almost as cool as zip drives.
And he gets set out to wrong those who wronged him. The Metro City Federal Police by
Yeah.
stealing the supercar. I don't think we know what federal means, but that's fine. I've got questions about the governmental organization in Viper, and I know I'm never going to get the fucking answers.
Yeah, Metro City. I didn't catch the federal police. This is
Yeah.
a city, but it's a okay.
Joe / Mike at this point trashes his place, recounting things of his past life when his girlfriend, air quotes, Elizabeth, comes in wondering what's going on.
Well, and also Joe / Mike is what you can search for on AO3 for my Viper stuff.
Oh God.
You think there's Golem / Smeagol on there?
Give me 15 minutes.
I'm sure. I'm sure I don't need you to give you 15 minutes for that, Ben.
I do know that there is what's the guy's name from Venom?
Tom Hardy?
His character though.
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock.
Yeah, there is Brock symbiote fanfic. Like people ship them.
I mean, that's the whole point of the movies.
Yeah.
They make it weird.
I mean, it's AO3.
Yeah.
Well, okay, it's the internet.
Speaking of making it weird, I meant to bring this up last episode, but a really strange line, I think this was right before the fortune cookie scene, is when the doctor and Joe
Liz.
are starting their relationship. He tells her that's every woman's dream to reprogram a man. Is it though? Ladies in our
Weird.
audience, all 3 of you, could you chime in on this? Like, is this just some bullshit? Because it sounds like
Glow nodded sagely, like, yes. And then she hooked me back up to the blinky lights.
Did she put? Does Glow have a clip show device for you, Ben?
I like to video the old films now and again. And video films I would. Where I was taken to, brothers, was like no cine I ever videoed before.
It's nicer than the one in this show, which is the only problem. The only problem with this show. They should have spent more money on the brainwashing device.
Anyway, where are we in the show? They kidnap Joe.
He is fighting with Liz.
Yeah.
And she spills the beans. Like,
it's like,
yes,
okay.
I knew,
Yep,
but I
your
fell
whole
in
life
love
was a
with
lie.
you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's justifiably upset.
We cut over to Viper HQ, where Joe Mike is talking to Julian. Julian begs him to be Joe, since Mike was on a one-way ticket to death.
Yeah.
He does not immediately steal the supercar, so
And to be fair, Julian didn't know about this either. He was kept in the dark about the Joe's brainwashing.
He does not immediately steal the supercar, so Marcus blows up the set of Melrose Place, killing Elizabeth.
Yes.
There's a scene where she's at the window waving, and then the condo explodes. He runs inside, and the camera stays on the door while he's inside. We get the worst bit of voiceover ever, where he's just, I'm going to reenact it for the audience here. He goes, "No!"
I'm sorry. From my notes, we get an epic explosion, and followed by the best no since Revenge of the Sith. So that's where we're at.
Yeah, that was some acting, all right.
And then he gives Julian his badge, and Julian's like, "You can't go find them." He's like, "I'm not. I'm going to go find myself."
Mm-hmm. He's sitting in, Julian comes up. I guess he's got a coffee machine in his car, because they're sitting in the car outside the explosion while the fire department goes in there, and he just hands him a cup of coffee. Like, here you go. Your girlfriend just died in an explosion. Here's a cup of coffee. So yeah, he goes to find himself, and he visits Elizabeth's mother, who is just like not at all upset about what just happened. She's just like, oh,
I know I was dating your daughter for like a month, and then she died in an explosion, and we're both being incredibly nonchalant about this. Prestige television.
This is the part where she's like, oh yeah, she told me everything about you, about who you are and who you were. It's like, Jesus, dude, no one in this entire fucking show can keep a secret, dude. Good Lord. But yeah.
As we're going into this, though, Townsend, our bad guy, is like, "I'll take care of this," and calls Councilman Strand.
Oh, right.
So wheels are in motion behind the scenes. While we are having this, I will say Liz's mom does not pull her weight in this scene.
Not at all. She's just like, oh yeah, I guess this is at least the same week from the explosion, because I don't know, maybe my headcanon for this is Liz's mom, she has like a dozen brothers and sisters, so that's what it is Liz's mom is all just like, oh wait, which one was she? I don't know.
Yeah, this felt like the kind of scene you have like after like a year later.
Yes, exactly.
Not before the funeral.
Right. Liz's mom, the mother here, and by the way, their house is terrible. My God, this looks like generic grandma's house. Did you see the upholstery? It's horrible. Anyway, she hands him the box that Dr. Elizabeth was keeping with all his personal effects, including a key to a lockbox.
Yeah.
Or a bank, not lockbox, a bank box.
Safety deposit box.
Safety deposit box, yeah.
Joe goes to get the lockbox. It is just an absurd amount of money.
I tried to pause and zoom in. I think these were $1,000 bills. It looked like they said 1,000 on each of them.
And they talk about $1,000 bills later in the episode because in 1994 they thought they were going to have the inflation that we have now.
Well, they got something
in
right.
2001. They got it right
close. Yeah.
We also see that Wilkes is locked out of VIPER
HQ.
And so he goes to talk to Commander Thorne, where we find out that the VIPER project was terminated.
Dick, you're fired!
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's got 48 hours to dispose of the VIPER.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Hey, don't worry. Wilkes will move you back over to R&D and give you a raise." And I only care about VIPER. And I'm like, yeah, man, because I only care about VIPER.
Yeah. I mean, the city council's making the right decision here by just getting some tanks like every other police department in America. That's that.
No, okay.
Julian tells him to shove it. He's only interested in supercars driven by amnesia reformed ex-cons. If the project doesn't have supercars with amnesia reformed ex-cons, he's not interested.
Mm-hmm.
Joe uses a video payphone. Chef's kiss, magnificent. And finds out the project has been shut down there. Back at the station, our offensive Italian stereotype tells Joe that Councilman Strahd canceled Viper because of a huge donation to his mayoral campaign.
From the outfit, yeah.
Joe resolves to steal the car and go vigilante. Frank and Joe go to the Viper garage, take it out. Joe pulls a gun on Frank to get him to shut the fuck up. Also to steal the car. He decides to keep it at Julian's, which is wild. Can you imagine your coworker stealing a car and keeping it in your garage?
Yeah. Hey, the car that I have been meticulously building for years. I'm the head of the project. Where will no one think to look for it? At my house. I didn't steal this, but no one will believe me. Like he is screwed.
Hiding in plain sight.
That's not a thing.
That said, during our Viper rescue scene, we also see the second coolest vehicle in this show, and that is that awesome cop van. I loved it. The cop van that they show up with and are just like, what? We're here to take the Viper, and also, like, you guys locked all of Joe's stuff inside.
Pretty sure that cop van was in Twisted Metal. It looks like one of the NPC cars in Twisted Metal.
But we do get this car is a part of me. Well, this car's also a part of me. And it's like, you've been here for a week. They do manage to track down Commander Thorne, and they're like, we figured it out. Councilman Strand is on the take. And she's like, I know. That's why I quit.
Did you see his mustache?
Yeah. And then she admits, I had to quit. I can't come out about Strand because I knew that they brainwashed you.
Is this the scene where they meet out at night at the Overlook?
And it's just like, why does a city council have stuff that if this was a Mission Impossible movie, I'd be like, this is a little much.
It's the future.
But their plan is tell the city the Viper has been destroyed, and that way we're free to use the Viper. And I'm like, but then as soon as anyone sees the Viper, they know it's not destroyed.
Yeah.
It's a one-of-a-kind cop supercar.
This is a lot like the plot of the pilot of Airwolf.
With literally... one person who can drive it on planet Earth.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's believable with the helicopter somewhat, but fucking... No, I think it is a little more believable with the stick shift. Because I know helicopter pilots who can't drive a stick shift, so...
Raise your hand if you can drive stick.
Damn it. All right, well, I'm going to...
Vic was the only one who didn't raise his hand. It's admittedly been probably 15 years since I've done it. I wouldn't trust myself just throwing behind the wheel one. I'd want to take it around the block a few times before.
Yeah. Well, when Skynet disables all the internet-connected vehicles, you guys are going to be good to go.
Yeah.
We then cut to a meeting on a bridge where Townsend meets Strand. He's like, what? You told me to kill the Viper Project? I killed the Viper Project. I'm like, you idiot. They stole it. He's like, I'm a city councilman. You want me to go to, like, the impound and watch them destroy a car?
Yes.
You know, I'm glad we saw this because one of my predictions was he was going to be elected mayor. That seemed like an easy one, but apparently not because Shooter McGavin throws him off the fucking bridge.
And he is made, instead, head of the water and sewer department.
I wasn't expecting that. I really thought our councilman here was going to be a main villain. Well, maybe he will. Maybe he'll come back. Who knows?
Viper leaves Julian's garage here to the fanfare of children.
Yes.
Yeah.
Children who cannot stare inside the garage as they work on the Viper, and who, as it drives away, cheer, which is the proper response to seeing a Viper.
Joe closes the Venetian blinds on these. What are those little slits called in a castle that you could shoot arrows out of? Well, that's what they look like.
Uplets?
I knew you would know that. Well, anyway, Julian has a rustic garage with medieval-looking slits in the side and a set of Venetian blinds over them. That seems like an odd choice for me.
If it's California, it makes sense.
Okay. Anyway, what happens next? Is this where we get our
we get our car chase.
Yeah, they go rescue their one of the one highwayman gang member that they have in prison is being transferred to a different jail. He's got a whole convoy escort of cop cars, Fast and Furious style with their black Dodge stealths. They stage a rescue, and a Russian hacker guy is trying to hack the digital handcuffs
Yes! I am invincible!
that our highwayman criminal guy is stuck in.
Yep.
And when generic blonde girl in a leather corset is looking through some binoculars and sees Viper coming up the road.
And they have these Cyclops binoculars.
Yeah.
I love that she takes the binoculars off and she's wearing shades.
But they take off. That said, Marcus does, instead of getting back into his car, start driving away in the police van because no one is left behind. Because they do have honor among thieves.
This is insane that, like, you don't just cut him out, right?
Right.
Just know that this is going to happen. Instead of bringing a fucking trying to hack your way through or whatever computer shit he's trying to do, just bring a fucking sawzall, guys.
Right.
That said, they have somehow, after one car has been shot with it once, developed countermeasures to the EMP pulse, so that as Viper shoots them, nothing happens, which I believe is going to indicate our perpetual arms race between Viper and the outfit, where they keep coming up with new ways around Viper's powers, and Viper must get more powerful.
That's a good point, yeah. That EMP seems like an overpowered weapon, because if it can just disable any vehicle with one shot, then that seems like too easy a solution. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah, our car chase scene. I forgot what happens here. Viper ends up disabling two of the vehicles.
Yep. He also uses his holo projector to crash one of them, making it seem like he's driving back head on. He is able to project another Viper in front of the Viper. And
he plays chicken with Yuri.
He plays chicken with Yuri, who crashes his car, and Connor Marcus is like, "You wouldn't dare. You don't got the balls." To his credit, Connor drives right through the hologram.
Yep.
Yeah, this is where he does his what was that William Shatner cop TV show, TJ Hooker?
TJ Hooker.
Yeah, Joe does his TJ Hooker impression where he jumps off the Viper onto the van. Julian is driving via computer because he's crippled and his legs are like slouched over. This scene is actually pretty cool. I like how he's steering with one hand and controlling the accelerator and brakes with the laptop. That's pretty dope, I do gotta say.
We also taked out the other car using the grappling hook.
Yeah.
And spinning her out, and like that was cool. Like, grappling hooks are always cool.
Grappling hooks are always cool.
There's a reason why Fast and Furious has gotten like 6 movies about how cool is it to put a grappling hook on a car. And you know what? I'm still here for it.
Yeah, Batman. Every Batman movie has a grappling hook, and yeah, absolutely.
He is able to dodge all of Marcus's shots, at which point he gets in and Marcus pulls a switchblade and they fight, at which point Joe pulls a gas grenade. And is this tear gas? Like, what did you guys think this was?
I just assumed it was regular smoke. If it was tear gas, then he'd be, blind and choking and stuff.
They do not seem to be dealing well with it. And instead of stopping, or I don't know, if I'm in a car that is rapidly filling up with grenade smoke, I just stop. He drives off of a embankment and flips the van, and Nichols is just like, "Oh man!" At which point, in my favorite bit of the whole thing, Joe stops the Viper, goes down, drags Connor out of the car just to throw him a little more, and then leaves.
Oh, what was the butt plug looking thing that Julian? That was the hollow emitter.
That's the hollow emitter. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he dug it out of the
medical emergency.
His drawer, and I'm like, what the hell is he gonna do with this?
Yeah, no, it's got a really flared base. That's a fair call out.
But then the cops show up, but Viper is able to beef up its tires and go off-road.
I thought Viper was going to go invisible at this scene. I could have sworn, but no, it just gets 4x4 wheel off-road tires and goes off-road to evade the cops. That was unexpected. Is Marcus still alive at this point?
Yes.
He is still alive.
He left him in the ditch.
Yes.
I don't think we're going to see him again. The show might, but we won't. Yeah.
Well, we can talk about that
Yep.
because we're at the end of the episode here. There's just a little bit left, which we can cover very quickly, which is we get a new HQ.
Super lair.
Joe used Peyton's money to buy
Mhm.
as our racist Italian caricature arrives and forces himself on the team.
Frankie shows up in his racing jacket with his Barracuda.
There's a nice Barracuda.
Ooh, Barracuda.
That their new layer here looks pretty damn cool. It's like an
Yes.
abandoned dam, I'm guessing, and
This has to be repurposed set from Batman Returns.
it does, yes, because it's got the statues
The
inside.
statues. It has to be.
That is so fucking cool.
It is awesome.
Who puts these statues inside of a fucking dam?
Right?
No one. No one.
Yeah.
That's the episode.
That's the
So we
episode.
can talk about
Viper's
what's
gone
coming
rogue.
up next.
Uh-huh.
Mathematically, I programmed the algorithm. We're rolling 4D4 for Viper based off
Nice.
the number of episodes.
You can't just say Viper. It's Viper.
Viper.
See, it sounds like you're cracking a whip over there when you do that.
It's
No,
not a.
say it for AO3.
It's not a. It's
It's
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and roll these 4D4.
Mhm.
That is a 10.
Did we skip the whole first season again? Oh wait, no, this was
We
back.
did not. It's a 12 episode season.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So we're going to be at season 1, episode 11, Thief of Hearts. An artificial heart that will save the life of a young girl is stolen.
I love the show already.
When it's stolen from you, listen to your heart.
Well,
Again.
before we listen to your heart,
Viper crew.
before we listen to the heart, we should listen to some predictions.
Lincoln, what are you doing up there?
Guessing? I guess no one's coming.
I have seen into the future.
You ruined the prophecy.
Now, the description of this next episode, I gotta say, I think this is also Airwolf because I saw, listening to Cool Girls Don't Look at Explosions, awesome podcast, by the way, listeners,
Yeah,
subscribe.
go listen.
Yeah, I saw the preview for Airwolf. A little girl gets kidnapped.
They kidnapped the heart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, our supercar / super aircraft has to save the life of a little girl. That's what. That's a thing.
All
right,
well,
anyway.
I will start us off
All right, let's
with
hear.
Go for it.
my daytime prediction. Frankie gets to drive the Viper. That's all Frankie wants.
Good prediction.
No, he's never gotten to drive the Viper.
No, he did drive the Viper. He drove the Viper off the lot.
Oh, but like in a mission, he gets to drive the Viper.
Oh, in defender mode?
Defender, I think you should
I'm
make
not
it-
sure about that, but like
I'm asking for clarification, Ben, because he's already driven the Viper not in defender mode.
At
so
another
he
point,
drives the Viper in a mission or he drives the Viper in defender mode. Pick one.
Frankie will be the driver of the Viper, probably just for one episode.
Now,
Okay,
is this
in episode.
any episode or episodes that we see?
Any episode.
Any
This
episode?
is a
Okay.
daytime prediction, man.
Do you trust that you're going to be able to find out if that happens?
No.
Because
No,
I don't
I
know
do
that we're going to
not.
find recaps for the show.
Yeah.
No, we are not.
All right, we'll just save that for the end of the season.
We'll get there.
We will burn that bridge when we get to
Your
it.
evening prediction, Ben?
My evening prediction: the outfit makes evil Vipers. And my primetime prediction: the Viper gets destroyed, but they already have a surprise, better Viper.
There's a
That's
Viper Mark II.
literally my daytime prediction. It's so obvious that's going to happen.
I'm surprised we haven't overlapped. Well, let me do mine next because I think I
Let me switch mine around for ease
Okay.
of points gathering.
No,
you can keep it, but it's more fun if you don't. Anyway, so my daytime prediction in the very first episode, it was a point taken that the councilman wants guns and our scientist Julian doesn't want guns. Well, my daytime prediction is Viper gets guns. I'm talking actual bullet firing guns.
Don't think that's going to happen. I think now that Julian doesn't have the pressure of the police force, he's never going to put guns on that bitch.
I think it goes the opposite direction. It definitely gets guns. My evening prediction. Now, this is just for episodes that we see here on LTO. We never get the same love interest twice. It's a new girl every episode that we watch.
Okay.
And my primetime prediction, I wrote this down as Springfield in my notes. That Metro City remains ambiguous. We never find out where in the U.S. it is. It's like Springfield in The Simpsons. It's just generic city.
All right. My daytime prediction is the Viper will fly.
Ooh. Are you talking aerodynamically or will a jump count?
I expect there to be some form of takeoff. I don't know if we'll get a landing, but I expect it to propel itself into the air.
Kind of like the turbo boost of Knight Rider?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen Knight Rider.
Have you never seen Knight Rider?
I've never seen Knight Rider.
Oh my God. You guys are from Detroit. I thought that was required. Anyway, yeah.
Why
Turbo
would-
boost, it
does
just
it take place
presses.
in Detroit?
No, it's just it's a car. Anyway.
That's racist.
Racist.
Fine. I'm racist against Detroit people.
Cityist.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to say it'll count if, because like Knight Rider, it has a button that he pushes for turbo boost and it does a jump. So
I think, like the Supreme Court in pornography, we'll know it when we see it.
all right.
You'll know it when it's there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael
that's
Jackson
fair.
Thriller.
My evening prediction: Marcus gets killed off.
You think we see Marcus again?
I think Marcus is in more than one episode. Yeah. If you don't kill him at the end of this episode, I think he comes back.
That's
And
a good
I think
prediction.
he gets killed off. And then my primetime prediction: we get an even more supercar at some point when the Viper is destroyed.
Like for the good guys, get a better Viper. Okay.
Yeah. There will be a better Viper when Dodge puts out the new version of it in 96 or 97. Whatever season that ends up being. Yep.
Nice.
Got to sell those cars. All right. Well, those are our predictions. We know what we're watching next. All that's left is to go watch it and see how we did, and then make
I will
another
say
set
this
of
is one of
predictions.
the hardest bits I've had not watching the next episode. I will admit I watched the first 5 minutes of the next episode, not realizing.
Excuse.
Well, this is me. I'm not going to pretend. I'm going to be upfront and forthright. I thought it was going to start auto-playing the other half of the pilot. Instead, it started playing season 1, episode 3. And I'm like, why are they already in the super base? Did Victor lie to me?
Never.
What's going on here? And then I had to back all the way out and then select the incredulous Wilkes picture episode.
Oh, that's great. Join our Discord to see what we're talking about.
Yeah. Join our Discord. Join our Discord, listener. It's a great time. The What Happened Her Productions Discord. We're there. Cool Girls Don't Look at Explosions is there. Who Are You is there. Attention Bajoran Workers is gonna
Hopefully
be
there next week.
Hopefully there next week.
I'm shooting for January 20th at this point for launch, but we'll see how that goes. Definitely subscribe to Cool Girls Don't Look at Explosions. And while we're at it, let's give a thank you to Ripe. Thank you, Ripe, for letting us use our theme music, Goon Squad. We appreciate the hell out of it.
Should I worry?
Don't you worry.
Don't you worry. Goon Squad will show you how.
And we'll see you next time on Last Time On.
Stop fucking eating when we're recording podcasts.
Sorry.
You rude ass motherfucker. I'm going to shame you and we're not going to edit it out.
Oh man, see that's Ben chewing. Ben is rapidly chewing his taquitos at the moment, or whatever he's
They're
eating.
combos, okay? I was doing fine until you asked me a question as I popped one.